My best friend came to me the day before my wedding, showing me photos of my fiancé and him in my bedroom, saying, "This is us tonight, while you were away. She was never yours," he smirked. I didn't react. But this morning, he woke up to find his life in ruins. What happened next will leave you speechless. I've often thought about what people mean when they talk about gut instincts. You hear about it all the time. Someone saying, they knew something wasn't right, that something was off, and yet they brushed that feeling away. Looking back, I realized that my own gut had been screaming at me for months before my wedding day. It hissed that my fiancée, Holly, and my best friend, Kylan, were getting too close, far closer than was normal. But I was busy. Busy with my demanding job at a software consultancy. Busy planning the wedding Holly wanted. Busy trying to please her very demanding parents, Richard and Marjorie Chambers. Even though I occasionally felt a pang of jealousy, seeing Holly and Kylan laugh together in a corner, or noticed how Kylan's eyes lingered on her in ways that made me uneasy, I simply didn't have the energy to wrestle with those suspicions. I was exhausted, too many 12-hour workdays, too many calls and errands that came with planning a massive wedding. My parents, loving as they were, had neither the means nor the know-how to assist with all the lavish demands Holly and her mother insisted upon. That left me juggling about 100 responsibilities, with no room to breathe. But the red flags were there. For instance, Holly and Kylan texted far more often than a best friend and fiancé should. I'd catch them smiling at messages or referencing jokes they refused to share with me. If I asked, "Hey, what's so funny?" they'd respond with dismissive shrugs or good-natured but evasive remarks. "Just a silly meme. Inside joke. Nothing you'd be interested in." And so on. I'd known Kylan since freshman year of college. We shared a cramped dorm, pulled all-nighters for finals, and covered for each other when we needed it. We were, I believed, as close as brothers. And maybe that's why I managed to stifle my own concerns. I just couldn't imagine him betraying my trust so brazenly. He's my best man, I told myself. He's got my back, right? As for Holly, she came from a much wealthier background. The Chambers family prided themselves on their local prominence. Richard Chambers being heavily involved in local politics, and Marjorie Chambers, acting as the imperious socialite who graced every fundraiser and charity ball with condescending smiles. When I proposed to Holly, they grudgingly accepted me. While not explicitly rude, they were always sure to remind me that I was marrying up, that the Chambers name had standards to maintain. Their arrogance showed in the wedding planning as well. "We'll split the cost 50-50, her parents had said. But they pushed for a lavish venue, extravagant centerpieces, a string quartet, and a guest list that ballooned to almost 300. My folks, a retired school teacher dad and a near-retiring nurse mom, had to dig into their savings to meet their half. No matter how many times I tried to set boundaries, it always ended with Holly's mother saying, "We can't cut corners, we're the Chambers." Or, "Think of what people will say. You want your bride to look cheap on her big day." That language grated on me. But Holly sided with her parents more often than not. She'd wave me off. "Let them have their fun. We'll only do this once, right?" Famous last words. A week before the wedding, Kylan, grinning confidently, offered to handle hotel reservations for out-of-town guests. "You've got enough on your plate. Let me take care of it," he said, flashing phone screenshots. It felt like our college days, trusting him with something important. Relieved, I thanked him. The night before the wedding, our families gathered for the rehearsal dinner at the last venue. Holly, in an almost bridal white dress, flitted between her father's relatives, who barely acknowledged me. My parents lingered awkwardly, uncomfortable with the wealth on display. Kylan gave me occasional thumbs-ups from across the room. After the run-through, we moved to the lounge for an after-party. Spirits were high. Until I noticed Holly was missing. Calls went straight to voicemail. A bridesmaid casually said she felt overwhelmed and stepped out for air. I shrugged. It was the night before the wedding. Maybe she just needed space. Time trickled by. And then Kylan disappeared too. At first, I wasn't overly suspicious. Possibly he went to pick up more champagne or something. But a nagging voice in my head whispered, "Look for him, and look for her." A half hour turned into an hour. Curiosity burned, so I grabbed my phone, scrolled through social media, and checked if Holly or Kylan had posted anything. Sure enough, I stumbled onto Holly's Instagram. She had accidentally uploaded a short story that she deleted within seconds. But the damage was done. In that fleeting clip, I recognized a hotel hallway, the golden pattern of the carpet, and a partially visible door number. It was definitely not the corridor at our wedding venue. Different place, different hotel. My heart clutched in my chest. The gut instinct I'd suppressed for months roared to life. Go see for yourself. I needed to see for myself. I remember driving through the busy streets near the hotel district, my mind racing with possible explanations. Could she have gone to a friend's room? Could Kylan be helping her pick something up? My heart hammered as I thought. What if they really are together? That's insane. That can't be real. But the part of me that was now fully awake refused to shut up. I knew Kylan had made some recent hotel bookings for guests, but I didn't have the details. So I parked, walked into the lobby of one of the more upscale boutique hotels, and tried to see if the front desk recognized me from earlier visits, or from Kylan's group reservations. My plan was half-formed. But as luck would have it, I saw Kylan's car parked near the entrance. If that wasn't a sign, I didn't know what was. I reached the 8th floor. My eyes combed every door number, searching for the one I'd glimpsed in the Instagram video. Room 846. 847. My pulse raced. Each step echoed in the silent corridor. The night air outside the windows was pitch black. The overhead lighting felt too bright, like it was exposing me before I could confront them. But I didn't want a confrontation. Not yet. Something in me insisted on gathering proof, so I could never question my sanity afterward. So I snuck forward, pressing my ear to the door of room 847. Initially, I heard nothing. Heart pounding, I quietly tested the handle. And to my shock, the door wasn't deadbolted from the inside. Someone had carelessly left it locked only by the electronic mechanism. Kylan, ironically, had slipped me a master key card.
Now comment update to tag you on part 2.